I'm back over at Moruya, and it's quite a nice evening. We have really nice sunsets here because we're right up near the mountains. I would have been here a bit earlier, but I had to go and get hay from I have a few cows, and it was chook day at the feed shop. There was a truckload of chooks, and I was talking to the lady who works at the feed shop, and she said they bring about a truckload of 1,000 down and make 5 stops from Sydney to Moruya. And I was thinking about it, and I thought $33 for an Isa Brown chook, and they got 1,000 of them, which is a nice bit of Bugs Bunny in the old Cunning kit, really, isn't it? You'd fill a lot of jam tins with that. But I'm just trying to get over here and show you. So it's a nice full moon tonight. I don't mind being here at night in the cemetery. It's not an issue for me, and it is quite a spectacular night. But I came back to just I mentioned in the previous video that the name Edward Coughlin rang a bell to me, and I went and looked at this wonderful book that I'll show you here without losing the space, the Moruya Pioneer Directory. And this was put together about probably nearly 30 years ago by the Moruya Historical Society. Has the names and birth dates and obituaries and information pulled from old papers about many of the early local families. So it's a good resource. But I mentioned that Edward Coughlin, the name rang a bell to me, and I went to my trusty Pioneer Directory and I found him. Edward Coughlin, born 1807, Roscommon Island, son of John Coughlin and Mary McLaughlin, arrived New South Wales 19th of February 1832 on the Norfolk. Tried 7th of March 1831, Roscommon. Convicted and sentenced to transportation for life. Description: 5 foot 4 inches tall, ruddy complexion, brown hair, hazel eyes, scar on left side of forehead. Catholic, could read and write, single. Received conditional pardon dated 31st of December 1847. So he spent 15 years a convict. The reason he stood out to me was his wife's name, actually, I found out, was Mary McGrath, who was born in County Roscommon, which I think is actually an error they've got there, the daughter of John McGrath and Mary Chidle. She arrived on the 31st of July 1844 on the St. Vincent with her brother John McGrath. Now, the reason that name stood out to me was because John McGrath, the brother of Mary and brother-in-law of Edward Coughlin, is my great-great-great-great-grandfather, I think. So that was nice to find out, because I really love this headstone. It's a really nice one, and looking at it and thinking about it, actually, I think it's probably one of the earliest ones in the cemetery. I know Francis Flanagan, who was the first white settler in Moruya, is buried in the older part of the cemetery, the long swamp part. And he died in about 1863 or 64. And Edward here has died in 1867. So just thinking about it, that would suggest to me that this is one of the earlier graves in the newer part of the cemetery. And having walked around and looked at some of the other early graves, quite a lot of them share a similar style to Edward's grave. I think they're made out of concrete. I'm not good at that sort of stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's concrete. Where there's breakages like this, that's certainly not, or maybe it is, but it just looks like concrete, but maybe it is like a sandstone sort of thing. It's probably sandstone, I don't know. But all the graves I've found of this period share this sort of mausoleum design at the top and a similar sort of dimension. Edward's in a more print style, but quite a lot of them have more of this sort of cursive style. And what I'm going to do, not now because it's getting dark, is go and have a look for some of these earlier sort of graves and sort of try and piece together a timeline of when they started burying people over there. I'm sure the actual documentation of that exists, but I thought it's a lot funner to go and wander around and figure it out myself. So that's the end of the video. The video I last uploaded took a total of 2 hours to upload up at my place. I've got very slow internet, and I'm not going to go through that again, so for now. So that's the end. I'll just take another sort of panorama. It's a nice evening. Full moon poking through the old, I think that's a monkey gum. And there's quite a few of them around. There's another big old monkey gum. So I'll catch you.